Hello and welcome to another episode of The Captain's Table. My name is Paul, Berserker01, Batman Shelley, your humble host and space bartender here at the AstroPub, your space bar at the end of the universe. Sit back, relax, enjoy the show. We got a good one for you. This is a special Captain's Table because this is our session 3 of our 24-hour Captain's Table for charity. We have raised $1,800 for charity, and our goal is $3,500 because we've got... At $3,500, we can fully fund a go-kart for sick kids in hospitals who want some distractions away from the fact that they are sick kids in hospitals. And the Gamers Outreach group does that really well. It allows for kids to play video games. They have these little go-karts that are made out of medical grade materials that they can easily clean and sanitize, and they can wheel it around children's hospitals and let them have some time to play video games rather than just, being stuck in a hospital, and remind them that they're kids still. So if you have a chance to help out, please do. Thank you to everybody who's donated thus far. With that being said, let's talk about this 24-hour, the 24 hours. Talk about Star Citizen. Star Citizen sort of 2024 year in review and CitizenCon. And before we get fully started, let's introduce folks. I'll start with you there, Axis. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen, and where can they find you?
Greetings, everyone. 07. My name is Axis0096. You can find me on YouTube, Rumble, Twitch, and Kick now. Well, 2 of them with my normal name, one of them with an X and another for an abbreviation for some unknown reason. But predominantly, I cover, just general stuff like you do, Paul. I cover general news, and it's been a transition from my old stuff. Mm-hmm. Still trying to figure out what to do with some of that, but mostly I'm a Star Citizen channel now. So,
all right. And Buster, who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen? Where can they find you?
Hi, I'm Buster the Destroyer. You can find me here on Twitch. My name's Buster the Destroyer once again, and I am the I don't want to hype myself up too much, but I am the sculptor of faces. I'm the face maker.
Axis, we're getting a little bit of a feedback on your end, so just
you need to be Buster Fresh.
They can hear you through the maybe your you doing
microphone.
Yeah.
Face by Buster.
Yeah, Face by Buster. We call them Buster Customs. I know other people have called them other things.
Sigalian refers to it as wearing a Buster.
Yeah. It's gonna be a thing. I think people saying, "Oh, well, I've got a Buster original," they'll be like, "Whoa, okay, that's impressive." So,
yeah.
So, so you do a lot of custom stuff. You're also the hot dog queen of Stanton. So,
yes.
Are we going to see a return of the Queen of Vara herself?
Yes. Tomorrow is the day of Vara, the Queen of Vara, the mistress of Fright. Venefica will be back tomorrow night.
So check that out. For those of you who are watching this live, that'll be fantastic. So she plays a character called Venefica, who is it's like what was she like the captain?
She was the left behind crew member who was taking samples on the surface when the Vara disappeared.
The last.
So she was just she had to acclimate herself to a toxic environment in order to survive on one of the Hadesian planets. I never gotten the lore enough to figure that part out.
That works.
I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry, Paul.
It's great. It's an homage to the
Elvira, Vampira, mostly Elvira, because Elvira's kind of like that, like almost like a back in the day of MTV, the VJ. She like VJ's like the horror movies. So we'll basically have a watch party of like anything that's been Vara or Halloween themed in Star Citizen, and just have fun and maybe do a little bit of something.
Yeah.
Like maybe make Venefica in game. That's actually I've never done that. What? We'll do that tomorrow. That'll be exciting. Yes. Nice. New plans as well. Thanks, Ed.
And then we have Victoria. Who are you? What do you do in Star Citizen, and where can they find you?
On a team. Victoria. Friends call me Vic. Artist, gamer, part-time streamer, maybe even as of late, less than part-time streamer, but yeah, I'll jump on and
fair.
we'll do some SC together. We'll do some org activities with my team, the Star Strikers. Um, so shout out to my guys and girls and the org. On Twitch is Victura, and on Twitter is Victura_gaming. So posting screenshots and having fun in the verse and making friends and hanging out with you guys.
Awesome. So, just like with all of these panels, the idea is we're going to kind of go over CitizenCon and then 2024's year in review for Star Citizen. And I'll start with you, Vic, with this one, which is the general vibes. How did CitizenCon come across with you? You can talk about goods, bads, just the general feeling of CitizenCon.
Yeah, I think we can all agree that they bring it. They bring one hell of a show wherever they are, whether it's in that virtual space or that physical space in LA or in this case Manchester this year. Um, I'd say overwhelmed is always on some of the content, but then you know there's always that Pavlovian pang back there of like
Mhm.
when are we gonna see these? Um, so certainly a question on time horizon, but certainly excited for the future. So I'd say, good vibes, optimistic, certainly excited. And as always, I mean, great to see the devs, great to see the audience, so many enthusiastic. I don't want to say backers, you know what I mean? Like I don't like using that word. I like to, so many friends,
Mhm.
because a lot of those faces are really starting to become familiar, and I think that's a great thing for the community as a whole. So
Yeah.
looking forward to being in that audience next time.
Hopefully, if they come back to Texas, please, CIG.
Please, yes.
Boy, it's time for rock and roll rodeo CitizenCon. Let's go. Let's go. I'm ready
there's
to
a-
show y'all.
There's a Bowling for Soup song called "Come Back to Texas," and I want to tweet CIG with that song. It's not the same since you went away. Did you lose your accent? Yeah, it's great. You come back to Texas, CIG. We're all ready.
I mean, there's several Lyle Lovett songs that will fit the occasion.
Yeah. All right, and Buster vibes. What are the vibes of CitizenCon this year?
My biggest thing, and this is like a big giant overall, and this isn't like a critique of CitizenCon. This is more of I think it was because I wasn't there, wasn't as emotionally moved by it. Because I wasn't there to, like, for me, CitizenCon's about, like, from the one time I've gone, seeing your friends. So 100%. Like the panels and everything are a bonus. The community booths and seeing people is, for me, like, that was all I wanted to do last year. And then go to the one about, faces last year, which clearly has made an impression. But but vibes, like, I was into, like, I was into things, I loved seeing Squadron. I mean, that was such a huge excitement for me. I think a lot of people, obviously, but the swamps, I am ready for gators. I want to. By the way, I will say I noticed the Florida man in the swamp.
Yeah.
Did y'all see the Florida man? He was there. Space Florida.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Space Florida's out there. Space Florida man.
It's just Mike.
But
That was just Mike's one contributing factor to CitizenCon. So you got to make that paycheck.
But yeah, but overall, it was a good show. I would have much more enjoyed being there to see not only the people but also the community booths more. They did a pretty good job of showing them off and everything, so I'm pretty happy with it. I can't wait for, like, maybe some people, like, I need to find some more, like, people walking around video that doesn't necessarily have commentary. It's just somebody walking through the convention. So I would like to find that. But yeah, overall, great show. And I have been working very hard to get that They Might Be Giant song. They call me Dr. Worm.
Yeah,
Good
I love that
morning,
one.
how are you?
Yeah.
I'm Dr. Worm. Because that's his name. It is not. I mean, the Valkar is the coolest name you can give a species. Like, it's awesome. But that
Dr.
one
Worm.
specifically is Dr. Worm. Dr.
Yeah.
Worm's the Dr. Worm.
That's perfect. It just works.
Dr. Worm. Dr. Worm and the band,
Axis, general vibes of CitizenCon.
Generally positive. I noticed pretty much overall in the uphill, super positive direction. I did notice from the crowd some things weren't received super well, especially during the Nix downgrade of Delamar from a dwarf planet to a physical asteroid.
Well,
but we
also,
knew things were going to happen,
The other thing to remember is that as being at CitizenCon last year, I can tell you that a lot of people thought that the crowd was not buying something when we were buying it. It was just a matter of the mic didn't pick it up, didn't pick us up, cheering and stuff like that, so you didn't hear it as much. So that sort of thing. So it may have also been more people dialed in or just being like, what, kind of situation. But yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, they might have been gauging it. Yeah, I was either going to say either they weren't receiving it well. I couldn't really super gauge it as negative, but I think they were trying. It was like a moment. They're trying to compare it to the old direction.
Yeah.
Of the place compared to what it is now. And the Pioneer concept is another one.
Yeah.
So sorry.
You're good. Was that all?
I'll hold off on it until we talk about it.
Okay. So now that we've talked about like in general vibes, let's go with the negative then the positive. So start with the negative. So starting with you, Access. What was the negative aspect? Things you either didn't like about it, you wanted to see, didn't see, or they didn't kind of go in depth enough for the CitizenCon?
The weather thing was overall positive, but it felt way too short. Like it felt way too scrunched into that one segment. What was it, like only 10 minutes long total? Where they were talking about lightning, rain, wind, storms in general.
Mm-hmm.
And yet it looked like they had a full simulation of it going. Even if it was pre-rendered, guys,
Mm-hmm.
It felt like I wanted to hear more about that. So I'm hoping we get an inside Star Citizen on how far we are on that weather tech.
Apparently, it wasn't pre-rendered because I've heard multiple accounts from people who were at at CitizenCon who said that they talked to the devs, and apparently that was like the 5th attempt they did with that one to get it right, because some of the attempts they literally blew up. So
it was an actual weather sim.
Yeah, it was actually
interesting.
My guess is it's probably in just like a small localized level. So like it was just like one planet they built for the testing of that, but it's dynamic. It's not something that was necessarily perfect.
Still, it's a template that they're even testing. That's impressive.
Yeah.
But the other thing was the Pioneer concept. We have a lot of people who are passionate about their old ship designs. Okay. Like the Carrick owners. We know you're out there.
They don't like the fat Carrick.
Also, I love your idea for the Redeemer redesign. Thank you.
No, the
nacelles.
Yeah. I don't mind the nutcrackers. I just want it to make sense. I just want the ship to make sense.
And some lore that makes sense.
Yeah.
Please.
Instead of contradiction. Buster. Negatives about Star Citizen or Star Citizen. Negative about Star Citizen.
Yeah. CitizenCon.
Yeah.
Words ball. It's okay. Honestly, I mean, I'm trying to like separate the later things that happened this week. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
My brain. It's been such a week. I would say okay, and I'm when I say this, I say with all the love in my heart, and I this comes from a place of love, and not in any way anything. Like I would only say it if I felt it was constructive. Chris Roberts, when something goes wrong, don't tell me about everything that went wrong. Don't do that.
Mm-hmm.
Don't do that. Put out a post about it.
Mm-hmm.
Keep it at, maybe I mean to some degree it's appropriate, right? But he got a little too focused on it, because I could tell like he was very upset, and I know I know it like hurt. I know it hurt that hiccup happened. I
Mhm.
know it hurt so bad. But man, just you gotta let the love flow. You know, you gotta let
Mhm.
the love flow because you just let the love flow.
Yeah. No, I agree. I
Just let
think I
the love
think I, and I don't think it was frustration at other people or anything like that. I think it was just
No, it was just like a damn it,
yeah.
like a complete damn it. I could feel like everybody's been there in life. Something has happened at the worst possible time when it's
Yeah.
been fine the whole time.
Yeah.
You know,
It
it's
worked.
been fine the million times you've rehearsed it. I know this, like, in performance and all kinds of, it's a different way, but like, sometimes like that one cue doesn't go off right. And it's like, oh no,
Yeah.
if that doesn't work, half the show won't work now.
Yeah.
And so get to intermission as fast as possible so we can fix this. So we
I
can
get
run up and fix that fly, that kind of thing. But
yeah.
it hurt. It hurt to see him hurt.
On top of that, I think it actually hurt more than that because I think it sent the bad vibes at the end
Yeah.
of that because it was like 2026 goodbye, and it's like really, we're just gonna
Yeah.
drop the date 2 years in the future with no explanation and leave.
Okay,
That felt wrong. So
okay, I will stop everybody there, and I wanna take a side note here to just
go ahead.
say a thing. Y'all, I get that you're upset about 2025 being the release date. I totally understand. But
26.
and this is and
26, yeah.
again, I say this with love, but I'm gonna say it very frankly. What in the world do you think uh do you think they're gonna release a game in a year with no marketing so far into the greater public?
Yeah.
Right.
Come on, guys. I know y'all get mad at marketing all the time about ships and whatever. And valid, like valid. I don't mean to, this week, but the thing is y'all, we are not the target market for Squadron. We are already here.
Mhm.
We are already here. I mean, sure, some of y'all want to be convinced, and that's cool. Like, I get it. But they have to market to everybody else in the whole friggin' world, especially in specific countries the most, like the United States, a bunch of places in Europe, everywhere, right? They they have to have a 2-year cycle to do that. I'm sorry, they do. They're
Minimum.
already I mean, sure, they've probably been thinking about this for years and planning this, but also scheduling against, like, other releases, and and they need at least a full year to market the game. At least. I think they need a year and a half.
Yeah.
They aren't Nintendo.
They
Nintendo can
aren't.
get away with 6 months and still make a sale.
Yeah.
But being a fledgling studio, they can't get away with that because they don't have FQ money.
Yes.
Yeah.
They don't have and they've never done this as a company, right?
Sorry to interrupt. Sorry.
Oh no, you're fine. You're fine. You're a total dude. It's a conversation.
Yeah.
But the point being, they've had to keep it with us, and then they of course pull in new people at the. But when they're trying to market Squadron, that's a whole different ballgame because it's single player. It could possibly be on consoles. It's a bigger game there, in that regard. So
Yeah.
I'm just saying, y'all, because then once you get Squadron out, like Star Citizen will be a lot easy. Like you'll already have your established relationships and all this. And so anyway, the point being, marketing is going to take a while because we are not the target market for that. We are already here. We've been the supporting fans,
Mhm.
and now it's time for them to pull in people that could become new supporting fans and even just fans. So.
Yeah.
There you go.
I agree.
But yeah, what was the question originally? I don't remember.
Oh, you already answered it. Like
Okay, cool.
the negatives of CitizenCon.
I will defend, and I'm not white knighting here. I'm just looking at it from a freaking place of sense, and it just makes sense to me.
Some people are yelling, talking to me. I don't know what's going on, but
Everybody loves you, Paul. Let the love flow.
I was gonna say, like,
Let the love flow.
as somebody experienced with it, minimum is 9 months. Minimum is
Yes,
9 months
minimum.
for
Minimum.
stuff. You're looking at more like a year, but yeah, a year and a
Yeah.
half makes sense, especially if you have the
Yeah.
cash. And CIG is not exactly hurting for cash when it comes to
I
some
wouldn't be
things.
surprised
So
if it's like kind of part of the beginning of like it's the beginning of next year. Like they kind of, I don't know. I don't know anything. So
I mean, we
I wish them well in doing it. Obviously,
they have a 2026 date. We're probably going to get more dialed in dates as they do more previews. So we'll probably see something at like Invictus and maybe something at like Gamescom or Tokyo Game Show. And, you know, as they get closer and closer to the release, we'll see more specific dates, and that'll increase the number of amount of marketing materials to do, cross promotions, getting the various actors to go around to different talk shows and talk about it, and that sort of thing. So,
Invictus sounds like a sure-in bet because it
More
revolves
updates.
around the military. Yeah.
Victoria, negatives about CitizenCon.
Negatives, certainly not any type of harsh critique at all, but just two observations in that negative column. One, with the announcement of a year for the game for Squadron, why couldn't they have sold it?
Yeah.
Why couldn't they have put it back up?
Yeah.
I think that could have drove, you know, certainly sales, certainly attention to the project. And then two, and this is more so in like the deliverables column, but having missed delivering the 10 concept ships that they were talking about fielding, I think what did we hit, like 6 out of 10?
Mm-hmm.
I know others are coming throughout the year, but you know, during the last show when they were like, "Oh, these are the things we're working on for next year," and it's like, okay, I'm going to sort of hold you to next October as that year, and then there we were, and a little short.
Yeah.
So
yeah. All right, let's go with the positives of CitizenCon, and I know I would say generally what most people have had a struggle thus far in the broadcast have been like, I have to pick one. Like, there's a lot I want to talk about. So, Victoria, what are some of the positives you took away from this CitizenCon?
positives, base expansion, biome expansion, you know, certainly new, and I'm going broad range here. New clothing types, certainly the systems. Well, it's not 100. I'll take 5. Um, space stations.
Yeah.
That was something I was talking about with Buster and the team earlier before, because we were asking like, what do we hope to see? And I was like, throw me space stations. And I was looking for something, I guess, a little bigger in that, but you got to start someplace. And as previous panels have discussed today, um, yeah, like I'm curious, what is it going to take? What are the resources? What's the time sink? What's the economy? Like, all of those things are going to feed into assembling that station between org members or orgs teaming up or just folks finding common purpose to jump in on and enjoy together. Obviously, Test Squadron is going to get it done in 20 minutes, and that's fine. um, but looking forward to that. That's exciting to me because that having a place to be is going to draw folks in, and I think feed the other game mechanics, from hauling to pirating to refining to salvage, you know, all of those things. I think it's a direct input. So there's my positives.
So I'm gonna address this real quickly. Space Game Bro, what Buster was saying was 2026, not 2025. She said everyone was mad that when you said that everyone was mad, it's coming out. It's not coming out, but it's coming out in 2025. We know you were referencing 2026, not 2025. So I'm just trying to get Space Game Bro to get, like, you know, when she was saying 2026, that's what she was saying.
Enhance your comm.
Yeah.
I just see a lot of people disappointed at it
Yeah.
not being 2025.
Yeah.
And like, yeah, it just makes sense. But at the same time, I get where you're coming from. Maybe you're frustrated because you feel like, I don't know. I think maybe there's some misreading going on between both parties. I'm not sure.
Yeah. It's okay.
I thought it would be 2025. But yeah.
Buster, positives of this last CitizenCon.
Positives. Like I said, love swamps, love. Oh, and for particularly, I was really excited for the low key the face updates, like the FOIP, like the way they're gonna update FOIP, because I don't know what it is with me and FOIP, but it's like I guess it confuses certain things to get like sometimes my eyelids and I think my eyebrows get confused or stuck together and all that, and how it's going to add like the head motion, like when you just kind of turn your head and stuff. So I'm really excited for stuff like that.
Gotta
It's
put the
gonna be
dots on our faces.
yeah, and it's like helpful sometimes when you're like, because a lot of people will like when they're sending me these face pictures and stuff. Sometimes they'll send me like pictures taken of them at different, and they're like smiling, and I'm like I need a neutral face because I don't want to put the FOIP on because it just the whole time. So I'm excited for that. That was like a big little one for me. And then there was something. There's getting a definitive answer about what Star Citizen is. I think it's been needed to be addressed for a long time, truly and thoroughly, and to see like kind of an example of a gameplay loop that how this thing works with that thing, and it, and I know a lot of solo players maybe felt left behind, but I think there's a lot of places for like a solo player to fit into those loops, right? Like whether it's an economic loop or it's a, all these other things. Like I don't know. It was pretty cool. And yeah, again, the face that little bit just really caught me the most. So in a small way.
Axis, what are the good parts about CitizenCon?
For me, number one definitely was just seeing the progress on the demo. We actually saw over an hour, when they uploaded the finished version of the Squadron 42 demo, what our first forays into 42 will look like, how some of the systems will work, even the passive systems like learning lore just by hearing things and stuff. You notice that if you were watching the trailer a little bit, pick up on things. I want something like that in Star Citizen PU too. Thank you, Chris.
Yeah.
But at the same time, that's still in my top 5. It would be my number 1. Number 4 would be the weather sim if it wasn't so short, because there's a lot of variables that go into weather. Number 3, the fact that, well, with clarification over the weekend that there will be multiple shipbuilders building ships in the large category. They've finally ironed it out that not only is the Galaxy going to be a builder, but also the Starlancer BLD will be a large builder. So I'm kind of glad they ironed that out. And I think there were some conversations going on about that. Number 2, and then I'm going to turn it over to Paul after 1. I may think that I think I got lost.
That's fine. We'll come back to you.
Yeah, come on.
So let's kind of change gears and move more towards about Star Citizen in general in 2024. And I'll start with you on this one, Access. In your opinion, was this a good year for Star Citizen, a bad year for Star Citizen, somewhere in between?
I'd say it started bad, but then it built up to good. So kind of a mixed bag, but trending toward good.
Okay. Buster? Good, bad, somewhere in between? You're muted still.
The whole show?
No, the game this year in general. So Star Citizen.
The game, right?
Yeah.
Sorry, I'm doing the same thing. Star Citizen CitizenCon.
Yeah. Flint was doing that the last one too. She went bleh. So.
Yeah, the game. I mean, I don't know. Me personally, I've had a thing with the game, and it's not about the performance of the game. It's just been the game. I mean, some of it has. So this last year, I've been kind of like, I sat there and played Oblivion for like a couple months, solid. That's all I did on stream.
You can do that with Oblivion. It's great.
Yeah, Red Dead. I did a little bit of time on. I haven't finished it yet. Yada yada. But I did get into a little bit of the time there where I just wanted to do other stuff because I wanted goals. And again, that's kind of goes back to what I was saying about the 1.0 thing. Is it's like, oh look, like things will mean more than just making money in the game,
Mm.
you know. So I mean, I don't care. I mean, I care, but I don't about the money. Like I just want to have a good time. But I know down the line I'm gonna have to have money to have a good time.
Yeah.
This is just like real life. Thanks, Chris Roberts.
Have you done the Mass Effect trilogy yet?
Oh yeah, I've done it a million times.
Okay, good. I didn't know if you'd
I
streamed
mean,
it
not on
before.
stream. Yeah, I kind of started like earlier this year or something. I got
Mhm.
through most of it, or maybe last year. But I'm in 3. I need to finish 3.
Yeah. There you go.
But anyway, but yeah, and then yeah, that's so the game for me this year has been kind of. I mean, the face making has been the thing that keeps me like for what the last since this update. This is what was in the PTU. You
Mhm.
know, like that's all I've been doing for the last 2 or 3 weeks. It's just faces, because there's a bug sometimes when you jump in a game and you try to do character customizer later, it won't work. So there's been a bug. So I've been afraid to go into the game since it's went live. So yeah, or that patch.
Yeah.
But yeah, whatever. I mean, Star Citizen for me has been more of a it's been a personal thing
Yeah.
more than a game thing,
The
you
game
know.
it's
A
the
little bit of both, but like probably 60-40.
Mhm.
40 the game, 60 me, you know.
Yeah, I'm similar in that like a lot of what's kept me coming back to Star Citizen now is just the cargo. Like the cargo is the thing that I was really excited about. So I understand
Yeah.
when people are like I didn't want to play this year because of master modes or because of X, Y, or Z. I'm like I get it, but cargo go whoosh, like kind of thing. So Victoria, the good or bad year for Star Citizen?
I think we've ebbed and flowed, and I think we're going to finish strong. I mean, with the releases and the updates and the inclusion and expansion of new things, we've punched the gas, and then we've hit that tech wall.
Mhm.
You know, we've hit that. You know, stuff breaks, so then they got to figure it out. Then they got to retool, and then we take that 1 or 2 steps back, and then they drop another update or they patch the fix. They fix it, and then we hit the gas again. Um, we had the issue. I mean, the, any number of things. Whether the hanger was too loud once they implemented the hangers. They're working towards now having the jump gates. Of course, that's going to be problematic. Like great in concept, great in pitch. However, it's the how does it go? Does it work the way they intend? Does it work the way they see it in studio versus when they deploy it widely to us? And then how to fix, so that way players can enjoy it and then take that next step forward again. So hopefully we're punching the gas again, and hopefully continuing to move forward. But I think as we continue our march on throughout the year and as we're going, I think there's a lot of good stuff coming that is again going to build that enthusiasm for the gamers, players.
Speaking of that, with the enthusiasm, I'm going to ask you this next question then, Victoria. Is Star Citizen's future looking good? Is it looking bad? Is it somewhere in between? What do you think the future of Star Citizen, especially next year, is looking?
If they can deliver on the things that they're talking about, then I mean, I'm going to give them a 60-month time horizon on a lot of the stuff that they put out there because we hope it's coming soon, TM. But I don't know when it's coming. And obviously, the one question is the one question that we can't ask, but I think it's the one that we have to start asking
Mm-hmm.
and start holding them to it. But I think it's good. I mean, I guess I'm the forever optimist
Yeah.
in that regard. And if you want to call me a white knight, do it if you have to. But we're gonna get there.
Buster, same question for you. Do you think next year is going to be a good year for Star? Is Star Citizen's future looking good? Is it looking bleak? What is it looking like? Muted still.
I swear, I pressed the button
I saw
and
you
then
push
somehow
it.
yeah. Because I like to mute myself from when
Yeah.
other people are talking, so I don't, Whittle or somebody doesn't get in there, or me. But here's the thing. I will say this. What was it? When was it, Vic? It was like February or March. I sent this big bouquet in Manchester. I found a Manchesteran, whatever they're called.
Yeah.
Manchestes,
Florist.
florist and sent this really nice bouquet, and I said, "This is your year, all right?" And I feel like to some degree it is, and some degree it isn't. It's like Vic said, ebb and flow this year. But next year, I don't know. I really hope to see a really good upswing. Like again, the beginning of marketing for Squadron that would excite like some of those videos and things are going to invite the community, or I mean, excite the community. Pardon me. Um, I think I just want to see. I don't know. It's been a good and I think it's a bright year. I always want to say yes, right?
Mhm.
That's what I want to say. And I think it will be. It's just going to take I think there's going to be a little pain through the end of this year for them to get to next year being a good one.
Mhm.
So, and I always have faith, of the heart.
Faith to believe I could do
Yeah.
anything. Yeah.
It's a
Yeah.
long road.
Getting from
Axis.
here to there. Yeah.
Axis. Is Star Citizen's future looking good or bad? You know, in the next year or so, do you think it's going to be a good year, bad year? Right now.
Right now, it's kind of dependent on a bunch of factors. One thing they need to do is keep morale of the community high. And I'm going to go, this is kind of an old topic, but you and I have said it a couple of times. They need to quit beating the community over their heads with a few things. There's been a couple of bad poster child incidents where they have called the community noise,
Mm-hmm.
the concerns and stuff. That I made a literal video over that, saying how I don't approve of being called noise when I'm raising legitimate concerns, about where things are going. And I don't appreciate being just called background static.
Mm-hmm.
um that's not very productive. you know, if you're gonna beat your community over the head with for having an opinion counter
Mhm.
to what you have. That can actually make and break companies, and we've seen it several times in recent times. It can bankrupt companies when they ignore their, their customer base. And I'm not going to get into the politics of certain ones because,
Yeah.
yeah, that's not why we're here.
So the question is do you think it's going to be a good year next year, or do you think it's going
If
to be
they
a bad
can
year?
limit that and be more positive, hopefully in their messaging, I think they can definitely keep going for a long time.
Okay.
Or they can go frontier development.
Oh, okay.
Somebody said Ubisoft too.
Yeah. The Ubi, I mean, Ubi is a good example because Ubi definitely does have that problem, and it has been a problem for years that they haven't listened to the feedback that they've been getting about their games becoming samey and all those sorts of problems. And it's starting to hurt their bottom line because they just haven't taken that those considerations on board, and instead just went go full forward. I
I do
want to.
apologize for the comments. It was just
That's fine. Uh, I get what you're saying though, and I think that's definitely something CIG needs to keep in mind. Is that as I've said it a lot of times, I think CIG squanders their momentum. They come after CitizenCon, after IAE. They've got the vibes are good, man. They're immaculate, and then come like January and February, people are getting a little bit more kind of like, and then by March, people have kind of given up on CIG. And if they don't keep that sort of momentum going, then they've squandered their goodwill by June, and then everyone's pissed at them by July, and then from July to October, it's a scam. Chris Roberts is awful. He personally punched my grandma. Like everything you can think of that's bad about CIG is there. Like CIG
He stole my
developers.
grandma's shit. You
Yeah.
know?
Yogi has stolen my will to live and ate it and on that kind of thing.
Oh my god.
That's my purse. I don't know you.
Yeah. So and it's all avoidable. It's entirely avoidable if CIG can, plan ahead of time in a way beyond just for development, but also for things like events or there are things they can do. And I hope next year they can finally kick out of that cycle and start doing more of that, sort of keeping at least a nice little simmer of excitement, a little simmer boil and excitement to keep
Not
people
the
going.
whole-
Hey. Yeah, not this roller coaster. Like I would kill for just a flat line of excitement from January to the end of the year instead of this like woo crash. I don't need the like excitement level of the community to look like the boom and bust cycle in economics. So
Oh Lordy.
As someone who suffers actually from bipolar, I would appreciate that.
yeah. Some less bipolar and more Star Citizens on its meds kind of thing.
Yeah.
Star
maybe a little bit
Citizens,
of up and down.
I liken Star Citizen to like kind of a boyfriend that just can't get it together sometimes.
You love him. You want him to see the best for him.
You love him so much.
And when he's
but
good,
he
he's
just
amazing. But he just
won't come through.
Yeah.
When it
I'm
matters.
having a good time today.
Like I'm going to the doctor today, like, could you pick up some orange juice?
Yeah.
And he doesn't.
Yeah.
He does the one thing wrong.
You are a treasure buster, I swear.
I try to be. I can fix him.
Oh god, that is so fucking perfect.
Stakeroo, you good job. So I'm sitting here like filing my nails about it too.
And I think Luna's saying it as well. The percentage of this community is loud and toxic when something doesn't go their way, and bombarding CIG with hateful videos, etc. That lowers company morale. Yeah, and it's just it goes both ways. Like things
their morale is just as important as ours. In fact, almost more important than ours.
They make the game.
Yeah.
And I think it goes both ways though. If CIG can keep the community's morale tempered, and they can keep their employees' morale tempered, like it doesn't add to the problems.
Nobody wants to wake up to hate tweets about a spaceship they put bolts in.
Yeah, I don't think I could do my job if every single parent that has ever lived in the Austin area had an opinion on my teaching style. Like that's not the level of like scrutiny I could live with. So I don't know how CIG and game developers can do that kind of stuff. So
yeah,
read the comments, Paul.
Yeah, I try not to, man. I try not to. It's so hard not to. Sometimes it's just funny though.
Y'all be nice in the comments. YouTube, I'm looking at you.
So that's it for the question and answer, or for the main discussion session. So we're going to move on to the question and answer session. As always, if you want to help out with the Gamers Outreach, we are still raising money. We are at 1,800. So, and we're trying to get for that 3,500. So if you have a chance to, make sure to hit ! charity in chat. And if you're watching this after the fact, it'll still be up for a little while. You can check the progress down in the description and in the comments. Make sure you check out Victoria's social media, Buster the Destroyer on Twitch, and Access on all the social medias under Access0096, as well as just Access 09696 kind of thing, but various iterations on Kick, Twitch, and YouTube, right?
Yeah. Access 0096 on YouTube and Twitch. Lowercase on Twitch, uppercase on YouTube. Rumble's the same way as YouTube with a uppercase Access, but with an X, and it's A096 for some weird reason on Kick. No idea.
So if you look up Access 0096, you can probably find you somewhere on all those. So
I float many places.
There we go. And yeah, we'll be moving on to the question and answer sessions, which I won't be recording and posting because I already am doing 8 sessions. That's going to be a lot of videos to post up. So if you're interested in the question and answer sessions, I'll put a link right above Axis's head so you can check out that video if you'd like to. Click that, and then that will be available for everyone. I'll try to go back and add timestamps so you know exactly what time the question and answer sessions are for each session. So hopefully you get a chance to do that. And thank you for watching. And like I always say, hope to see you someday in the black.